In late 2025, a shadow from the past emerged at one of America's busiest airports. A traveler, unknowingly carrying a microscopic enemy, passed through Newark Liberty International. Within days, a disease we had consigned to history books was back on the front page: measles. The virus exploited a crack in our collective immunity, revealing a terrifying biological truth. Measles is not just a childhood rash. It is one of the most contagious pathogens ever known, a Trojan horse that can dismantle your immune system's memory for years. Welcome to Health Inside, Anatomy and Science. Today, we're launching a full-scale investigation into the anatomy of a measles virus particle. We will track its path from a single cough to a full-body invasion, explain its unique ability to cause immune amnesia, and decode why the 2025 outbreaks are a stark warning of what happens when science is forgotten. Part 1. The Contagion Calculus: Why Measles is in a League of Its Own. To understand the threat, you must grasp its basic reproduction number, R0. The R0 estimates how many people one sick person will infect in a totally susceptible population. For COVID-19's original strain, the R0 was around 2.5. For measles, it is 12 to 18. One person can infect almost an entire classroom. This staggering contagion is due to three factors: airborne persistence. The virus lives in respiratory droplets so small they can hang in the air like smoke for up to 2 hours after an infected person leaves a room. Breathing that air is enough. Pre-symptomatic spread. An infected person is contagious for 4 days before the hallmark rash appears. They feel like they have a bad cold and are out in the world, unknowingly spreading it. Viral saturation. The virus replicates to incredibly high titers in the respiratory tract, meaning every cough or sneeze releases a cloud laden with millions of viral particles. The Newark Airport case is a perfect example of this nightmare scenario: a highly mobile individual in a pre-symptomatic but contagious phase inside a massive, enclosed, recirculated air environment. Part 2. The Biological Invasion: A 14-day timeline of attack. To map the virus's brutal, predictable campaign inside a human host. Day 0 through 3, silent landing. You inhale an aerosolized particle. The virus, using its hemagglutinin protein, binds to immune cells called alveolar macrophages deep in your lungs. It hijacks these cells, using them as a Trojan horse to travel to your lymph nodes. Day 4 through 7, primary viremia and systemic seeding. In the lymph nodes, the virus replicates explosively. It then floods into the bloodstream, primary viremia, seeding itself in the reticuloendothelial system, your spleen, liver, thymus, and bone marrow. Here, it infects more immune cells, particularly lymphocytes. Day 7 to 11, secondary viremia and the prodrome. A second, even larger wave of virus floods the blood, secondary viremia. This corresponds to the initial symptoms: high fever, often over 104 degrees Fahrenheit, the 3 C's: cough, coryza, or runny nose, and conjunctivitis. The virus is now everywhere. Day 11 to 14, the rash, a sign of immune counterattack. The characteristic rash is not caused by the virus directly. It is the result of your own cytotoxic T cells finally recognizing the virus-infected cells in the tiny blood vessels, capillaries of your skin, and attacking them. The rash is the sign of the immune battle, not the viral spread. Around this time, Koplik spots appear on the buccal mucosa and are a pathognomonic, definitive diagnostic sign of measles. Day 14 plus, the aftermath and immune amnesia. The acute illness may subside, but the real insidious damage is just beginning. Part 3. Immune amnesia, the virus's most devastating legacy. This is the most critical, underreported aspect of measles. The virus has a profound tropism for immune memory cells. It specifically targets and destroys memory B cells and T cells. Think of your adaptive immune system as a library. Each book is a memory cell trained to fight a specific pathogen you've encountered or been vaccinated against: flu, chickenpox, pneumonia bacteria. Measles burns down that library.
Studies show measles can wipe out 11 to 73% of your existing antibody repertoire, leaving you vulnerable to infections you were once immune to. This immune amnesia, or immune suppression, can last for 2 to 3 years, significantly increasing a child's risk of dying from other infectious diseases. The measles virus doesn't just cause an illness, it resets your immune system to a more naive, vulnerable state. Part 4. Complications when the virus attacks the command centers. The acute infection is bad. The complications are where measles becomes deadly. Pneumonia is the most common cause of measles-related death. It can be directly from the virus or from a secondary bacterial infection, now enabled by the suppressed immune system. Acute encephalitis occurs in about 1 in 1,000 cases. The virus infects the brain, causing inflammation, seizures, and permanent brain damage or death. Subacute sclerosing panencephalitis, SSPP, is the rarest and most horrifying complication. A defective measles virus can persist in the brain for 7 to 10 years after the initial infection. Then it reactivates, causing progressive, irreversible neurological degeneration that is always fatal. It occurs in about 1 in 10,000 cases, but the risk is much higher in children who get measles before age 2. Part 5. The 2025 outbreaks, a failure of herd immunity. The cases at Newark Airport and in South Carolina are not random. They are the direct, predictable result of falling vaccination rates. Herd immunity for a virus as contagious as measles requires about 95% of a population to be vaccinated. Below that threshold, the virus finds susceptible hosts and spreads like wildfire through undervaccinated communities. The MMR vaccine is a modern medical marvel. 2 doses are 97% effective at preventing measles. It is a live, attenuated vaccine, meaning it contains a version of the virus so weakened it cannot cause disease, but perfectly teaches your immune system to build lasting defenses without causing immune amnesia or any risk of SSPE. The 2025 outbreaks are a canary in the coal mine. They signal an erosion of one of public health's greatest achievements and a return of a virus that is far more dangerous than a simple rash. Measles is a biological terrorist. It is a contagion machine, an immune system destroyer, and a potential brain killer. The 2025 outbreaks are not a coincidence. They are a consequence. They show us what happens when we take scientific progress for granted. The MMR vaccine is not just a shot, it is a shield that protects not only the individual, but the collective immune memory of our entire community. If this deep dive into the terrifying biology of measles changed your perception of this childhood disease, please give this video a thumbs up. We must fight misinformation with overwhelming scientific evidence. Share this video urgently. This knowledge is a public health tool. Subscribe to Health Inside, Anatomy, and Science, and hit the bell. We are dedicated to defending science and explaining the true stakes of our health choices. Get vaccinated, protect your community, defend our progress.